Good morning, everybody. We are in Jakarta and we are carrying on with our cargo run. This time we're heading out to Sydney, Australia. So it should be nice. About a 6.5 hour flight as we head out there. It's currently late evening here in Jakarta, and we should be arriving in Sydney, I think, in the morning. So we should get a sunrise out of it, I'm hoping. So it's an overnight flight for us today, and as we fly this cargo A310 down to there. Joining us today is Kevin. Kevin is, let me just go to the external view. Kevin is right there, once again flying the tiny AN225, which is a beast. So he'll be flying along as we do this trip, and it will be a pretty decent one. Again, we're splitting the stream, so once we're in the cruise, I'll end the stream, and then roughly about 5 hours or so after that, we will be back with the briefing and arrival and landing into Sydney. So we might as well get on board. We'll start getting set up. The weather is not too bad. It's light winds, but there is a bit of a haze coming in, so it is starting to cause a little bit of visibility issues, but it shouldn't be too bad for us here. And there's Kevin in the chat. Hey, Kevin. Does which one have the range? The 225 or the 310? Mine does. Kevin's will too if the load is, it's all load dependent. It's actually, I looked at the numbers. Its empty range is over 3 times its full range, so it can go like 5,000 miles with a full load or 15,000 miles empty. So all depends on how much he puts into it. All right, so we're going to pop inside the aircraft now, and we'll start getting her set up and ready to go. Alright, so the weather radar is currently turned off. Parking brakes are on. Fuel levers are off. Thrust levers are in neutral. Flap lever is up. Landing gear lever is down. And ignition mode selector is off. Wipers are off. So up to the, there we go, up to the batteries. Batteries are now on. External power is on. Nav and logo lights are on system 1. And let us quickly run down to make sure all our other lights are up so we can see what we're doing here. Just got to get on the click spots. There we go. And overhead. There we go. So we'll pop back up top. We've only got a train on board today. Oh, only a train. Oh, yeah, nice. Alright, so APU fire test. Loop A, loop B. That's good. Do the engine fire test. Engine 1. And engine 2. Alright, fuel pump's coming on. Aircraft was loaded during the afternoon, so she's ready to go. We just got to get her set up and plugged in. So we'll get the APU up and going. APU on. And APU start. That's going to take a minute. And while we're waiting on that, that's my panel coming online. Let's see. No. Well, now power is on. External power. Go over to APU. It's coming up. Maybe when the AP generators are online. Let's clear the faults. You would think this would be up. Alright, so generators are available, APU is available. So we should have APU power. Switch over, APU is giving power. Why do I not have no... Oh. Weird. Alright, so we'll come down here. We're going to set up our load. As I mentioned, it's already in. So first of all, we'll go to our external connections. Make sure the chocks are in place and everything. Come down here to our load and I'll pull up our flight plan for today so we can make sure our weights are matching what it should be. And where's my briefing? And I just got to change the format and we'll get our numbers in. So we're carrying 23.5 tons of cargo. And we're looking at a takeoff weight of about 153. So fuel for today's flight is going to be 43,210. So we'll put that in. 43.2. We'll load out our cargo to max. Whatever is our gross weight up to. And then we'll bring our weight up to 53.5 roughly. .6, so that's 168. Let's go 165. It's 152. Okay. 166. 153. We can probably go to 168. Oh, we go more than that. 172. That's pretty close. And we're only a couple tons off our maximum takeoff weight, so that is all good. So we will apply that to the aircraft, and we are now nice and heavy, the way we want to be. So back up top, and we will let's see, where are the deers? We'll get them over to nav 1, 2, and 3. Galley power is on, so we can make coffee later. Low priority oxygen supply is on. Probe heats are coming on, so they can start warming up. Window heats coming on. Emergency exit lights are armed. Strobes are off. We'll get on the signs in the back. And we have no white lights, so we're good there. APU is up and running. APU bleeds are now on. Yeah, they do. It is dark up here. And although I do have my handy dandy flashlight if I need it. And we'll disconnect external power at this time. And we'll do a little bit of internal lighting as well. There we go. Turn that one off. Oh, it turns both of them off. Well, that's no good. Actually, we're going to need that page. Alright, so that is all done. We can now come down and start our programming. Alright, so menu, ACARS, we're going to bring in our flight plan. There we go. So we're flying from Jakarta. You have to set it to dim. Flick the switch beneath the main one. Oh yeah, no, it's on dim. Oh, I mean, yeah, to brighten it up. Well, it's a little bit better. It's not that much, but it's better down here at the bottom. That's for sure. Alright, WIII to YSSY, which is Jakarta to Sydney, and our alternate is YSCB, which I believe is Canberra. So we'll put that in, YSCB as our alternate. No information on that, or no cautions on that. Cost index of 30, flight level of 310. We will be step climbing as we go. Initial of 310, and our flight for today is DKH, which is World Express 104. So get that in there. We'll start. The IRS is aligning, and everything else is looking good so far. Let's go to our flight plan. Today we are departing off of, looks like 07. We'll do a wind check. No, winds have come around. So we're going to change that. Oh, you lived in Canberra, did you? You Australian, Brian? So there's the winds. They've come around to 240 at 5, 4,000 meters visibility. There's that haze that was coming in. A few clouds at 2,000 feet, 27 degrees. It's hot with very little wind, and 1009. So let's go over here. First of all, we're going to go 10. Hello, Ramesh. There's 1009 is set and cross-checked. We're going to change our runway to 25 left, as that's now going to be into the wind. I'm just going to check our departure. We'll have to change that. So it looks like we're going to the PW2C. For our departure. As we pop back in here, we'll bring up the airport. Since we're going now off of runway 25 left and the PW2C departure, oh, Throttle Ferris, okay. Oh, so you got around. That's pretty cool. Alright, so that's now entered in. So if we come up and we look at our arrival, see what our winds there. We currently have a 1.6 estimated for our arrival. Winds are still 170 at 15. Yeah, so we'll keep that. And it will be the 1.6 right in Sydney. And we'll be going in on the ILS for 1.6 right. So we can come back down. Push this all the way down to Sydney. A lot of waypoints since we're on multiple airways. So we're going ILS 1.6 right, and we're going in on the Bore 3 Papa. And we'll insert that. So that should give us a straight line connection in. Yes, it does. Alright. So we are all set up there. IRSs are still aligning. Now if we come up here and change this to there, we should be aligned any minute. We're less than a minute to go. So that is all good. So we have our takeoff information and our departure information, our flight plan in, and we can do our weight calculations now. Again, using the VAS airplane toolbox, you can find it in the information or the link in the description below. Very, very handy. Although at these weights, it doesn't seem to want to do it. Probably because I'm overweight for what it thinks a passenger aircraft should be. And we're just putting in my numbers here, and with the weather. Yeah, doesn't like those numbers. That's fine. We know roughly what it should be. So back then we go, we're going to do a 156, 157, and then we'll go at a 168 for our V2, but we're going to turn on the odd amper pitch trim and ATS switches. And then a 168. Initial altitude will be 12,000 feet. And runway heading 247. We'll dial that around. .247 is set. Alright, we're going to be doing a flaps 15 and a toga takeoff. That is all good. So carry on with our sets. EFIS brightness and modes as fine flight directors are both on. VOR nav ILS, both are set to nav. Decision height is set to -5 and off. Speed verified set to V2. Altitude select 12,000 feet. Heading select 247. Autopilot modes will be nav and profile when we go autopilot. Altimeters are set 1009. Clock is set to local time. EGPWS button is good. Brakes are normal. Landing elevation here at Jakarta is 35 feet, well 34, so we'll set 50 feet. Gear warning test. Gear warning test is good. TRP set to flex, or sorry, set to toga. Speed brakes retracted and disarmed. Flap lever is 0 and matching. Takeoff warning test. Engine 1. That's good. Engine 2. Good. Transponder we'll set to 5556. No real reason since we're on multiplayer, but just going through the force of habits. Rudder trim is set to 0. Weather radar is currently off. And oxygen test. We'll set our radios to 122.8. Let's get rid of that for a second. Which is Unicom. There he is, and let's do a radio check. World Express 104 radio check. I saw your indicator come on, but I didn't hear anything, really. A little bit better that time, but very quiet. Alright, so he's going to do that. So we got comms with Kevin there. Alright, yeah, much better, 5x5.
Fantastic.
Alright, so before start, ground power is disconnected. We will have them, are turned off. We'll have them remove that and remove the chocks. See, removing the chocks this time. No white lights on the overhead panel. ADIS, pitch trim, and yaw damper switches are on. Seatbelt signs, no smoking signs are on. And fuel quantity is checked. 43.2 tons of fuel. Windows are closed. Aircraft doors. Come down here and confirm everything is closed. Everything is closed. Cockpit door is locked. Beacon coming on. Parking brakes. Confirmed set.
0 Papa 1 for 25 left. Taxi for 0 Charlie 3 and 0 Papa 2.
And transponder is on. And we're ready for our push.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Yeah. There goes Kevin, and here comes our guys to do the push.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Thanks, John. It's a good one. Okay, Brian, we'll catch you later. Sorry, I was stuck over on the weather page for Sydney there. Missed that a little bit in the chat, but John. Thanks for dropping in. The only thing is, it's a passenger A310, not a cargo, so it's a bit of a fudge when doing weights and stuff, but other than that, not too bad. Oh, we got the Inviso. Oh, there it is. I was going to say we got the Inviso tug today. Mr. Tug Driver is doing some funky driving here in Jakarta, but he got there in the end. Alright, so we're going to be going tail left, nose right. Kevin's now clear. Tail left, nose right.
Release parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Alright, so fuel pumps are all on. Bleed air is on. It is the 19th, so we're going to go system B to crank. And starting engine number 2. We have N1 rotation. Adding fuel. Yeah, Kevin, no doubt. I mean, you're you're massive down here. I'm sure that there'd be taxiway restrictions for you. That's
Please set parking brakes.
starter cutout,
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
and the bus went over. We're now stabilizing. N1 coming down. Temperatures coming down. Good start. Starting engine number 1. N1 rotation. And once we pass 1.0, she really starts to accelerate. So that's when I usually look down and flick the switch, because by the time you do that, it's almost at 2 anyway. As you'll see, there's starting to climb up. Add fuel. Yeah, she's spinning up nicely. There's the bus. Start valve was closed. EGT coming down and N1 coming down. We have a good start on engine number 1. So let's let them know they can start disconnecting.
You can disconnect.
Alright, so ignition off, APU bleeds off, APU off, anti-ice not required, spoilers armed, flaps 15-15, elevator trim we want to have, if we come back over to our weights, our trim is 1 up, so if we look down here, we're about 0.5. So we're about 1 up now. Oh, okay. Let's get that center of gravity in.
Two shots disconnected. 5 are been removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
And that is 25.7.
Traffic, let go.
There we go.
01 Charlie, heavy, super is 6, runway 25 left, 2 minutes range tomorrow.
So it is now all in. Rudder trims confirmed 00 and flight controls. So let's get on the flight control page. It's full left, full right, neutral, full forward, full back, neutral, left rudder, right rudder, neutral. Alright, engine instruments, everything is looking good and in the green. And we are good to taxi. So, dome light can come off, taxi light can come on. I'll turn our turn off lights on as well. And we are good to go. Jakarta area traffic, World Express 104 taxiing runway 24 left via the cargo apron, Sierra Charlie 4, SP2, holding short, Sierra 1. Hello Talia, how are you today? Oop, this flashlight breaks off. And away we go. We'll get out here to the taxi line. So we want the second one. So SP1 is the inner, SP2 is the outer. We'll go take the outer out. There's no other traffic down here at the moment. And we'll head down to Sierra 1 at the end of the runway. There's Kevin. Not seeing his lights for some reason. He is there, like a black hole. I can make him out by the absence of illumination down there, where he is. Too much blood in the caffeine stream? Well, I'm sure you can take care of that.
Jakarta traffic, engine 0301 Charlie, engine warm up, super engine warm up is complete. Rolling, runway 25 left.
There he goes. Again, not seeing his lights. I don't know why. We'll start the clock and give him 2 minutes for spacing. Although I believe we climb a lot faster than him anyway, so we'll be out climbing him on the run up to cruise. Alright, here's Sierra 1 coming up. Jakarta area traffic, World Express 104, taking position 24 left and holding. Alright, so we got our lights on, strobes on, nose to taxi,
Jakarta traffic at Nvidia 300 Charlie Super is through 1100.
wing lights on. And all that is good. Ignition to continuous. Auto brakes max. The weather radar on. Get ourselves all lined up. So flaps 15, slats 15. Ground spoilers armed. Profile nav mode selected. Lights are all on. Transponder is on. And weather radar is on. Alright, we'll give them the fuff to 4,000 feet. That'll be more than 2 minutes. There we go. So I'll reset the clock. There we go. Alright, I take it that's running. So engines to 40%. Jakarta area traffic, World Express 104, departing runway 25 left on the Bori 3 Papa departure. Brakes released. Thrust power set. Airspeed's alive. .100 knots. V1 rotate. We are a heavy beast. Positive rate, gear up, speed brakes disarmed. Autopilot on, profile, nav, and P climb set, thrust. P thrust. We're in auto and climb mode. Nose down for acceleration. There's that hazy layer we're flying through. Alright, 190 knots. Going up the slats only. Continuing to accelerate and to climb. There's S speed, slat retraction. Alright, spoilers are disarmed. Landing gear lever to neutral. Packs are both on. APU bleed is off. APU is off. Nose light is off. Runway turn-off lights are off. Wing lights are off. Ignition off. ATI is not required. TRP confirmed. Auto and climb mode. Brake fans are not required. And auto brake is off. The transition altitude down here in Jakarta is 11,000 feet. Saraj Garung, thank you very much for joining. I appreciate the sub. Hope you're enjoying. If you have any questions, feel free to ask either in the chat or the Discord. You can find links to the Discord in the description. And I will also put it into the YouTube chat as well, so that there's a link there if you need it. Alright, we're through 5,000 feet. 11,000 is transition. Making our turn. There's the city. There's Kevin ahead of us. Yeah, definitely had almost a 180 switch on the winds over the past hour as we were getting ready to go. Yeah, we're looking good. Come out a little bit on the display now. And we'll set you over to 30 miles. Well, we know he's at least 12 miles away. He's not shown on the TCAS, so that is good. We're going to head right up to 31,000 feet now. Keep our climb going to our first level. We have 2 more steps to come as we head upwards. And what I'm going to do is bring up our map so that you can see where we are. Alright, so we're going to bring a new actually, no, we're not going to do that. We're just going to do that. There we go. And let me move the chat out of the way so it's not overlaying the map. Oh. Doesn't work in multiplayer. Right. Okay, well, we still got some good spacing. I mean, you were 5,000 feet when I took off in at least almost 3 minutes, and you're inbound PW, so that's, we got a good deal of room. We're pretty good there. Alright, so there's 11,000 feet, so we're going to switch over to standard pressure, and we're going to turn off the landing lights. So strobe, beacon, and nav are still on. No point doing the seat belts because it's just me and Roger here, as we are a cargo aircraft. And Jakarta area traffic, World Express 104, clearing the Jakarta area, outbound on the Papa Whiskey 2 Charlie departure at Jakarta. Alright, so we're leaving Jakarta, passed through 12,000 feet, and we're on our way up. and everything is looking good. So now we're just climbing up to our cruise level and monitoring everything. We'll go out one more click there until we're at cruise, and then we'll switch over to 240. So our route is going to take us out across the north side of the island here of Indonesia. We're then going to be crossing down and into northwestern Australia, flying pretty much down through the heart of Australia, and then down to Sydney, where we'll be landing in Sydney. The briefing has us in for a, let me just get our flight time. Seven-hour flight. So, at about five and a half hours of flight time or so, I should be bringing the stream back online for our approach and landing. Given the length of the flight, I am doing a split stream. So once we're up in cruise, we will just settle in. I'll end the stream at that point, and then we'll restart it when we get to the good stuff, when we're coming down into our destination. Main reason for that is some of these cargo flights get very long, and it allows me to go take care of other things instead of babysitting the flight for the entire time, which I have to do to get things done. So just watching what we're doing here and why we're leveling off. No, we're still accelerating, okay. Trying to get us up to that higher speed. Seem to leave it a little bit late, but that's fine. We are a big heavy airplane today. So coming up over the next little while, we got 2 new series starting. We're going to be ending our DC3s over England at the end of the month. And on the first Wednesday, I think it's the 5th of April, we will be commencing with our new series. It's going to be multiplayer, old aircraft, old antique aircraft, and we will be flying on a new route. I'm going to hold that one back until I publish the information, but it's going to be a long series, so it should be a good one. And then this is the last of the DHL cargo flights for a little while, once we reach Sydney. Well, no, correction. We'll be alternating on this series with the F1 series. So we should be flying the F1 cargo series next weekend, which is in the 747 freighter. Because this is race weekend this weekend, but they didn't publish the route information for the VA where I'm getting it from, so we'll do it next weekend. And then on Saturdays, yesterday was the last Ward Air flight for a while. We flew from Montego Bay up to Montreal in the A310. We're going to park that for a little bit, and we're starting a new tour, and we are going around the Atlantic, basically doing a big circumnavigation of the Atlantic Ocean. South America, North America, Greenland, Iceland, Europe, and Africa. So that should be interesting. That starts next Saturday as well. So Mondays we're still carrying on our world tour. We're currently in Japan, and we'll be leaving Japan tomorrow. Tuesdays we'll be flying our... I'm trying to remember what we started on Tuesdays. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Let me just go take a look. Oh, Fly 2, yes. Tuesdays are our fly too. That's our travel leisure low cost carrier arm of Fly UK. Currently based out of England, and we flew the first flight last Tuesday. We flew from Gatwick down to. Thanks, Kevin. We flew from Gatwick down to Egypt, Jakarta on the Red Sea. So we'll be carrying on with that. And on Fridays we carry on with Aurora. We got a bunch more flights for them. We currently sitting in Halifax. We flew there from Vancouver. Next Friday we'll be flying back to Vancouver, as we are hubbed out of Vancouver for the Aurora series. So that's it. Except for Thursday, we've got flights every day that I'm available, and it is looking good. All this information is over on the Discord if you want to join us, as I mentioned, and be it on VATSIM or on multiplayer such as today, everyone is more than welcome to join in. We can jump outside, but not a lot to see, although we are heading over the island here. You can see some of the cities as we go. But it is pretty dark. We should get a nice sunrise, though. Hello, Hannah. Yeah, we're DHLing it. Doing a cargo flight from Jakarta down to Sydney, Australia. So we're through 21,000 feet and climbing. Our speed is up to our high altitude climb speed, and we're getting about 1,200 feet per minute, which isn't too bad. 15 minutes into the flight. As mentioned, when we hit 31,000 feet, we settle into our cruise. I will be ending the stream, and in roughly 5.5 hours, about 100 miles out of top of descent, I'll bring the stream back online, and we'll do our briefings and get ready for our descent down into Sydney. And that way, we're not all just sitting here staring at the panels here for the next 5.5 hours. Then we can get stuff done, because life has to continue. Alright, so we're through PW, heading over to CA. So we got some good spacing here. Kevin, what's your cruise altitude you're heading up for? As you can see, we've still got over 2,900 miles to go, and we're pretty much going straight line, so this is going to take a while. But hopefully we get some good push from a tailwind, and we can do our thing here without too much issues. Well, 7,000 feet to go. See how the island of Indonesia here, the yellow is the city areas, and you can just see how much that's built up with population. Very populous place. Well, you can see it from the air too. I mean, there's Jakarta, where we left from. Just lights everywhere. Very populous place. Okay, we're down just over 1,000 feet per minute in our climb. That's 25,000 feet. I think I don't know. Let me take a look. Are you going up to 350 initial, or is that your step? Because I'm stepping twice more, with my final being 350. But let me get my cruise speed. Uh, 8.0 I should settle in at when I'm up in cruise. Yeah, well, we're heading up to 3-1 initial. And it's 7.8 now. Yeah, I'm thinking 8.80 is probably going to be my top end. I've got 4,000 feet to go. Just hovering around 1,000 foot per minute climb. $3,000 to go. Although if you are going right to 3.5 and they're going to only give you 7.7, I can slip underneath you. My first step is at Mavmo, which is located soon, actually. It's the other end of Jakarta. So I won't be at 310 for long. It's 1,500 feet to go. So you can see our ETA is currently showing 21:10 into Sydney, Zulu. That's just over 6 hours from now. And we'll see if winds help or hinder that. We're almost at 31,000. We're going to settle in. We're at Mach 0.79. It's 200 to go. Start to decrease our climb rate. Engines are starting to scroll back or roll back. TRP switched to cruise mode. And there's 31,000 feet. And we're leveling off. We should slip up to 0.80. good. So we are now stable in our initial cruise altitude. Again, we'll be stepping up to 330 at Mavmo, as long as if we come down here to our progress. Right now we got a max of 329, so it should bump above 330, and then we'll go up to 330, and then later on we go up to 350 as well. And if I put in, let's see where our top of descent is forecast roughly to be. Probably somewhere around SCO. So if we type in SCO and we throw it in, well, that's the wrong SCO. Put in Sydney itself. Yeah, there's Sydney. 2868. So we're not doing too bad. Everything is looking very good. So it looks like we're going to settle at 0.78 for our cruise. And we're just going to chug along here. So thanks very much for following us or watching for the initial takeoff and climb out to our cruise. As I said, this is now almost 6 hours of just sitting here staring at the panel. So we're going to go away, we're going to end the stream, and then we will come back in about 5.5 hours or so and get ready for our briefing, a look at the weather, and our descent and landing into Sydney, Australia. Thanks again. If you could, before you go, click the like button, subscribe. The more the merrier in the flight deck crew, and if you want to fly along, this is what it's all about. Just flying along, having fun, and seeing different places in the world. Thank you very much. We'll catch you in a few hours for our arrival into Sydney.